The storm howled over the blood-stained fields of Caed Morhen. Lightning struck the ancient towers, illuminating the worn-down banners that flapped against the wind like the last dying breaths of forgotten warriors. From the depths of the ruined fortress emerged a lone figure, a man clad in tight leather pants, a ripped tunic, and a magnificent blonde mullet cascading down his back like a golden waterfall of destiny. This was Geralt of Rivia, though, in this incarnation, he looked less like a fearsome monster hunter and more like a rock god who'd missed his last tour date. His steel sword gleamed in the moonlight, but it was his swagger that truly struck fear into his enemies. As Geralt strutted across the courtyard, a sultry voice called out, "Well, well, well, if it isn't the White Wolf himself." Turning, sharply, Geralt saw a woman leaning against the crumbling stone wall, clad in an outfit that screamed both danger and an acute awareness of the latest fashion trends. Yennefer of Vengerberg, sorceress, heartbreaker, and master of 80s shoulder pads. Her raven hair billowed despite the lack of wind, her violet eyes piercing into Geralt's very soul. "I was hoping you'd come," she purred, stepping forward, with the grace of a panther who had just finished reading an extensive guide on dramatic entrances. "You still owe me for that night in Skellige." Geralt sighed, running a gloved hand through his hair. "I thought we agreed never to speak of that again." "Agreements mean nothing when you still have my enchanted mixtape," Yennefer shot back, her fingers crackling with magical energy. Before Geralt could respond, a guttural growl echoed through the ruins. From the shadows emerged a hideous beast, a chimeric abomination with the head of a lion, the wings of a bat, and the unmistakable leg warmers of a jazzercise enthusiast. Geralt grinned. Finally, a fight worth my time. With an exaggerated flick of his wrist, he drew his silver sword, its blade catching the dim light. The monster lunged, but Geralt rolled with unnecessary flourish, landing in a perfect hero pose. "All right, you overgrown mistake of nature, time to dance." A synth-heavy soundtrack kicked in from nowhere, and suddenly Geralt was locked in combat with the creature. He dodged, parried, and countered, all while executing spins that would have put a figure skater to shame. The monster snarled, swiping at him with its razor-sharp claws, but Geralt was too fast, too stylish. Yennefer watched from the sidelines, conjuring a magical orb of energy but hesitating. "Ugh, he's showing off again," she muttered. Just as the beast reared back for a devastating blow, Geralt leaped into the air, slashing downward with cinematic flair. The creature let out a dramatic screech before collapsing into a heap, its leg warmers still somehow intact. "Another one bites the dust," Geralt muttered coolly, sheathing his blade. Yennefer sighed, crossing her arms. "You know, if you put as much effort into our relationship as you do into choreographing your fights, we wouldn't have these issues." Before Geralt could muster a response, a familiar voice rang out from the ruined tower. "Oi, are we not going to talk about how I've been imprisoned here for 3 days?" Jaskier, bard extraordinaire and wearer of the tightest trousers in the land, stumbled into view, his lute slung over his back. His once vibrant doublet was now torn, but he still managed to look like a man who could steal hearts with a single verse. Geralt smirked. "I was getting to you." "Not quickly enough," Jaskier huffed, brushing dust from his shoulders. "I swear if I had a crown for every time you prioritized monster hunting over my well-being, I'd be richer than—" "King Foltest!" Yennefer rolled her eyes. Yes, woe is you. Let's just get out of here before something even more ridiculous happens." As if on cue, a neon portal suddenly burst open before them, and from within stepped an impossibly muscular figure, clad in gold armor, holding a sword that was at least twice the size of a normal human. His chiseled jawline could cut glass, and his voice boomed like the gods themselves. "I am He-Man," the warrior declared, "and I seek the one known as—" "Geralt of Rivia!" Geralt groaned. "Not again," Yennefer face-palmed. Jaskier sighed and pulled out his lute. "Welp, I suppose this is where the next song begins." And as the camera panned to the sky, lightning flashing in the distance, the words, "To be continued," appeared in bold, glowing letters. ensuring that the legend of the most ridiculous Witcher tale ever told would live on forever in glorious high-definition Super Panavision 70.